Welcome back to Arcane Odyssey Reviews. Today we'll be reviewing Jarl Ivar the Terrible. And we'll be skipping the character section this time, unlike Alan, because in my opinion, Jarl Ivar barely has any character at the moment to even be considered a character. So yeah, let's just hop on his fight and let's discuss the positives and the negatives. I can't lie to y'all. The first stage had one of the dopest introductions to a character in my opinion. But regardless, I really like that big statue. The size made sense for him, but the area we fought in was kinda ass. Well, the positive sense here, honestly. In my opinion, the arena provides a new level of challenge, which is pretty cool. But at the same time, against the metal conjurers, by the way, it's pretty interesting. By the way, for the most part, he's using magic, with the only exception being times where he uses a charge and a devastate, or uses his axe alongside his explosion ultimate art to cause big damage in the area. That's really kind of about it for that. But in general, his attacks follow a pattern of delayed explosions like Alan, which is why in the Alan video I said this makes Ivar less special. And then we have charge attacks with devastate or charge multiple times trying to attack the opponent. Well, that charge attack bonus phase 2, but you still get the idea. Or charge and devastate in a certain area. Again, Ivar's mobility is pretty limited because he's a giant statue. He's slower, easier to hit, and of course since he's bigger, as I said, easier to hit because of the hitbox. And yeah, that's pretty much about phase 1, or well, stage 1. It's alright actually. It's pretty unique that we get to fight a giant or someone decently bigger sized enemy. First time for that. Honestly, I hope if it happens the second time, Vitex executes it better. And let's move to stage 2. Alright, stage 2. Just like Alan, there isn't that much change. Besides the hitbox of Jarl becoming smaller and him moving around a lot more. Alongside his attacks probably getting more damage and maybe some other minor changes. But obviously, yeah, that's really about it. He's just became more difficult and extremely annoying. Like, in my opinion, the place to fight this metal conjurer was poorly designed, but also kinda a decent option, honestly. Because if you were able to move around and if the fight was outside and stuff, yeah, it would be far easier for you to deal with Jarl because you would be able to get away and come back after his explosion or art and stuff. Plus, people have found a way to cheese him, which is what I'm not appreciating about this fight. This guy can be cheesed as well, just like Ormolo. But Ormolo's gonna get his own video with the talent quest line if that gets voted on a poll and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much about stage 2. Let's talk about the drops. Alright, so the stats are shit. Low-key, dog shit. 137 defense, 15 haste, 15 resistance for the cloak, and probably the helmet has similarity, but come on. Ivar's stat armor is so bad that I would rather use Cernix still, even if Cernix is capped. Or even Argus, actually. I would rather use Argus's armor if I wanted haste and defense. Like, for real, dude. This is just a terrible stat. Like, in general, it's just bad. I don't know much about his weapon, but the stats are actually low-key good for the weapon, in my opinion. They're pretty good. And the weapon has one unique move that is actually kind of worth it for warriors at the moment, which is what makes the weapon more valuable than the set. Like, Ivar's set needs to be buffed next update, low-key. That's all I'm going to say about the set, honestly. Low-key, I'll just say that Ivar is still not the most properly executed boss, but it's definitely better than Alan in every way, shape, and form. Despite the arena having issues, the chapter 9's content being cut short, and all that, the boss isn't as bad as Alan in any way. I actually kind of like the challenge. But at the same time, I can understand those who are frustrated with it. And I am going to repeat that cheesing is bad. Please stop doing it. It's bad. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Make sure to stay cool, stay out of pointless drama, and have your own opinions. Lubusoft 2, out.